Your life as every rank in Zambia's Chamba Shadow Economy Level 1, the Field Boy. You are 15 years old. You live in a small village outside Kasama where the soil is good but the rains have been failing and the only steady money comes from digging other people's maize fields for 40 kwacha a day. Your father's plot is too small. Your mother sells boiled mealies by the road, but the profits vanish on salt, cooking oil, and unpaid school fees. You have no NRC yet, no bank account, no certificate that opens any door. An older cousin offers you 1,500K to help cut and bundle chamba he planted between the maize rows at night. Mix it well. DEC won't notice from the road, he says. You go at 3 a.m. with a panga, the leaves sticky on your hands, the smell strong in the dark. You carry the wet bundles on your head back to his hut. He pays cash. That 1,500K shillings buys new shoes for your little sister and enough relish for 2 weeks. Your mother asks where the money came from. You say piecework. She looks at you for a long moment but says nothing. You swear it is only once. But the next full moon, the cheap phone rings again. Soon you are the one waking before dawn, moving quietly through the tall grass, heart racing every time distant headlights appear. You are a field boy, the very bottom. If DEC raids the patch, you are the one they catch with green on your fingers and soil under your nails. No one above you even knows your real name. Level 2, the mule. 6 months later, they trust you to move the dried bundles. You are 16. You hide the chamba inside sacks of charcoal or under bunches of bananas on your bicycle, then load it onto a minibus at the trading center. The driver takes extra money and looks the other way at roadblocks. Your job is to sit among the passengers with the load at your feet, pretending to doze while your chest tightens every time the vehicle slows. You deliver at night behind a shebeen in a Lusaka compound. No names, just a quick handoff. You earn 3,000 to 4,000 kwacha per trip, more than your uncle who works at the Chinese mine makes in a month. The fear never leaves you. You hear stories of boys your age caught with 5 kilos, beaten, then charged with trafficking. Some vanish into the system for years. You start waking at every small sound. Your mother uses the money for rent and school books, but never asks directly. That silence sits heavy between you. Level 3. The Kachema seller. Because you never lost a load, they move you to the street. You are 17, standing from afternoon until late at a dusty corner in Kanyama, or the back alleys of Chibolya. You sell small twists of Zamblaze or Dobo wrapped in newspaper. Kachema for 20 kwacha or 50 kwacha. The regulars know you, miners coming down from the copper belt, older men smoking to forget, boys your own age whose eyes are already turning glassy. You learn the danger signs, the stranger who asks too many questions, the car that circles twice, the sudden quiet when a white DEC pickup appears at the end of the road. Business is good when the power stays off and people want to forget their problems. But when DEC sweeps the compound, you are the first one grabbed. You have already spent 2 nights in the cells. They took your phone and slapped you around. Your uncle borrowed money to bail you. When you returned, your corner was still waiting. You clear 5,000 kwacha to 8,000 kwacha in a good week. You buy airtime, new clothes, and inshima with meat for the house. Your little brother watches you count the notes at night and says he wants to help. You tell him no, but you know he is watching everything. Level 4. The stash keeper. At 19 they take you off the corner, too visible. Now you watch a small back room in Matero. Fresh bundles arrive from the villages. You dry them properly, weigh on a cheap digital scale, repack into kachema or bigger bricks, and hand them to the sellers on schedule. You keep every number in your head, never on paper. Cash comes back in crumpled notes. You hide it under the mattress or in the ceiling. You sleep there some nights with the door barred and a panga close by. Every knock could be a customer or a raid. The loneliness is worse than the street. No noise, just you and the strong smell of dried chamba and the constant fear that one short count will be blamed on you. You send money home through Mukula agents. Your mother now has a small stall selling second-hand clothes. She still does not ask where the money comes from. You are making more than most graduates, but you feel older than your uncles. Level 5. The organizer. You are 22.
You now coordinate several hidden patches in the northern province. You tell the farmers when to plant, how much to hide among the maize, and when to harvest before the rains come. You arrange drying and the first transport to Lusaka or the Copper Belt. You deal with middlemen who sometimes short you and with rivals who burn patches. DEC continues destroying fields in Luapula and arresting boys, you know. The 2021 Cannabis Act remains mostly paper. No real licenses for small growers like the ones you work with. Only big companies sit in the gray zone waiting. You start seeing real money, enough to buy a second-hand Corolla registered in someone else's name. You still dress simple. Flashy cars get noticed. Noticed gets you rated. Level 6. The connector. At 25, you link the rural growers to bigger buyers who move Chamba toward the borders, sometimes through Malawi routes, sometimes south. You handle larger quantities. You negotiate prices and pay the right people at certain checkpoints when necessary. You keep 2 phones and change SIM cards often. You meet contacts inside moving minibuses or quiet bars. You make enough to start a small legitimate spaza shop through a relative. On paper, you are a trader. In truth, you move tens of millions of kwacha that can never safely touch a normal bank. You worry more about loyalty now. One arrested mule who talks can bring the whole line down. Level 7. The wholesaler. You are 30. You no longer see the fields or the street corners. You buy in 50 to 100 kilogram lots from trusted suppliers. You store in safe houses and distribute to several operators across Lusaka and the Copper Belt. The markup multiplies at every level. You now have investments in a small transport business and construction side work. People in the community know you as a hardworking man who rose from the village. You attend church and sponsor a local football team. DEC raids still crush the bottom. They seized tons again this year. But your name stays far from any paperwork. You have a wife and small children who believe you import general goods. You make sure they never learn more. Level 8. The facilitator. You studied accounting at UNZA, but never used the degree the way your lecturers planned. Now you structure payments, use cash-heavy businesses, and move funds across borders in ways that raise no flags. You charge a steady cut. You live comfortably, but never loud. You maintain quiet contacts, and always keep a simple escape plan ready. Extra documents, cash, a way out if the heat becomes too much. Level 9. The boss. You control a network stretching from hidden village patches to cross-border buyers. Your face never appears on the street. Instructions pass through 3 or 4 trusted people only. If DEC arrests everyone below you, none of them can point to you in court. That distance is deliberate. You own legitimate companies on paper. You donate to community projects and church causes. The neighborhood respects you as a success story. You know the truth. The poor boys in the fields and compounds carry all the real risk, while you keep most of the profit. You sleep well most nights. Some nights you do not, especially when news comes of another big field burning, or a young farmer given a long sentence. Level 10. The Elder. You step back at 48. You live quieter now, perhaps in another town, or across the border, where things feel softer. Your money has passed through so many layers, it would take years for anyone to trace it cleanly. You own property and businesses that look ordinary. Your grown children believe you were always a smart trader and farmer. They are proud. But every time the news reports DEC burning fields or arresting youth in Kanyama, the old weight returns. Somewhere tonight, a 15-year-old boy outside Kasama is cutting chamba by moonlight, because 1,500 kwacha can feed his family for weeks. He does not see the full ladder above him. He only knows the money is real, and every other path feels like nothing. The cycle keeps turning, even as the law stays stuck in limbo, and the raids continue.